So that's what happens when you go and add the play drum, and you can select it from ranging from 35, it goes all the way up to 81, and you can set the beats to, like, if you want a faster beat you set it to 0.1, and if you want a longer beat you go with a longer number here, a bigger number here. So I'll just go play this part here once. I'll stop that. So that's pretty much about the playing drum, and it can also rest for 2 beats, for example 0. Say here I'll put this one and then see what the effect is going to be like. So it's slowed down a little bit, otherwise I'll say 0.5, it further slows down. It became very slow and now it becomes faster. So that is to slow down the beats. You go put those numbers. If you want the faster beat, again you change these numbers here 0.1, or it'll rest for a while in between those beats. And here let's look at the play note. So when you use play note here, and you can select the note from 48 to all the way up to 72. Say for example here 60 is already chosen. So I played that note. If you want to change that number there, you could go here, select 72, and this is what's played. But all of these notes are played, as you see, for only instrument 1, which is your acoustic grand. Now, if you want to go with something else, probably a guitar. So let's go looking for a guitar and guitar harmonics and electric guitar, if we can find it somewhere. You've got all of these options that you can choose from: tinkle bell, guitar fret noise, and bird tweet, and wow, you can also go use the telephone ring, helicopter, applause, and even gunshot. Let's go here looking for electric piano, and yeah, there we go, electric clean guitar. So it plays that note for the, set the instrument to this, and you will now know you've seen the change in the notes. So for example here 1, acoustic grand, C. So now set the instrument to 28 and it plays. But now if you want to play a random note, say the notes are from, as I told you before, if you look at this, you will get those notes from, actually, yep, there we go. So it's ranges from 48 all the way up to 72. I'll just choose one of these, and yeah, but you can always randomize this again. I will randomize this from 48 till 72. So I'll go here 48 and 72, and again if I wanted it to be really fast I would say 0.1. I'll just set it to 0.2 beats for now, and I'll put this pick random number and put it there, and it's going to play the guitar once I press the enter Okay, let's see, experiment this out and then see what would be the effect. Yeah, so but now if you wanted this to randomize continuously and play continuously, we'll again go get a forever loop, chuck it in there and put this one here, and let's say press enter and then say I'll just go stop everything and I'll just play this guitar. I don't know what would be the practical use of this. Anyway, if you wanted to go and create a game and you really want a music that's pretty funny, and to make it more hilarious, you could go put your own notes and put randomized numbers, and if you're really good at, if you have some music knowledge, you can actually go create a proper music, and you should be able to produce something, a proper music, an instrumental music in there. So that is about playing the note and setting the instrument. You can also change the instrument, and let's say for example I'm going to go with xylophone here, and I'll just press enter. I'll stop it there, and there are a range of things that you can choose, and yeah, violin and cello. I'll go with cello. So that's about using different instruments and change the note and also change the beats. Now let's look at, we haven't looked at stop all sounds, and say for example here I put stop all sounds and I would go here when space is pressed. So I'll play this music here, which keeps playing that cello there, picking up the random note between 48 and from 48 to 72 and for 0.2 beats, and the drum is also going to play, and I will see if by pressing the space if it stops all the sounds. I will go press this one here. Each time I pressed the space bar, it did stop all the sounds for a while, but again, when they are all in forever loops, they're playing forever. So in this case here, I would take another forever loop and put all these stop all sounds here, and I will put it in here. Now I'm going to press enter. So as soon as I press the space bar, the forever underneath this code block is activated. Although these are playing, this is suppressing all the sounds and stopping all the sounds from playing. So that's about using the stop all sounds. And you can also change the volume by by up or down. So if you go to 0, if you go to probably 0 and probably by 10, it keeps reducing the volume, and all the way it goes up to 0, and it can go, if it goes less than 0 anyway, you can't hear to it. And if it's 100, if it's beyond 100, it's just 100. Say for example here, after 10 loops, all the sounds will disappear. I mean, yeah, change volume by -10. I put in there, and I'll say if I'm going to go. I'll set the volume to 100 first, and once the volume is set to 100, so just in 10 loops, what happens is it slowly diminishes. So you can change the volume by 10%, which means of its actual volume, 10% is going down. And again, you can set the volume to 100 or whatever the number you wanted to set it to. Say, for example, 34. I do not want these drums to be heard loud, so I'll set this to 34, and I will say here, but when you set the volume, it goes and changes the whole entire volume. And again here, set volume to 100. The effect was pretty clear. What happens is that cello instrument is played at 100 volume, but whereas the drum is played only at 34 of its volume. We'll just go change the same here. We'll just make this 40%, and we'll make the volume for the drum 100%, and then see what happens. What you've seen here is the cello instrument is played at 40% of its volume, but the drums are played at 100% of its volume. If you want to check what the volume is, if you just go tick this one here, it shows for the sprite 1 the volume is set to 100, but that keeps changing. As you see here, I'll press enter. See, when which means when the cello is played, the volume is set to 40%, but when the drum is played, it changes to 100% for this particular sprite here. Will be very useful when you're actually going to go and create a game, and in which a sprite should have a lesser volume, and another sprite you wanted it to set it to a different higher volume. So it's pretty much for that particular sprite this volume is valid. Now we can also change the tempo. Say here, I'll just go change the tempo by 1, and let's see what happens. That's how the tempo keeps changing. Now if you see, the tempo was up to 500, but then again we will set the tempo to 60 beats per minute. BPM stands for beats per minute, and set the tempo for 60 beats per minute, and we will see here and start playing. You can also change it to 600 beats per minute, see what happens. That's pretty much the tempo, and you can change this. You can set the tempo to a particular number, or you can change the tempo by a given number. So that's, if you want to look at what the tempo is, you just take it, you should be able to see the tempo here. So that's pretty much about